What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber94 here with a brand new deck profile to show you guys, mostly focusing on psychic type Pokemon. It's going to be very difficult to work, to be honest, but it's going to be high risk, high reward. It's definitely going to feel cool when you can make it work effectively. So basically, this deck is an Necrozma V Gengar deck, if we were to give it a name. The main Stage 2 Pokemon we're going to take advantage of here is this Gengar from the original Sword and Shield set. So this guy kind of went underlooked, it's kind of underrated, but it's because it's a Stage 2, it's a difficult Pokemon to work with. But the ability is definitely very powerful. Life Shaker, as often as you like during your turn, you may move one damage counter from one of your Psychic Pokemon to another one of your Psychic Pokemon. So this is essentially damage counter manipulation on your Pokemon, Psychic specifically, and moving damage counters around as often as like is usually a very strong effect, and cards don't usually get it very often. Now, what we can do with a Pokemon like this, the plan for this deck is move damage from our big attackers, like Necrozma V is going to be the main dude, but I also have the wobbuffet here, which we're going to talk about later. Your psychic Pokemon get weak, you can move the damage on a regular psychic Pokemon like this Giratina right here, and then heal all the damage by using Scoop Up Net, which is compatible with regular Pokemon. And this is basically the combo that we're going to try and take advantage of. Obviously, this sort of ability, you can do a lot of other tricks too, which we're going to talk about. But this is the main plan, the main strategy for this deck. If you can Scoop Up Net a Giratina with 120 damage on, it's almost like you're using like a potion for 120 damage to heal. So it's very powerful. Now, besides the ability, this Gengar is very underwhelming. 110 HP is extremely low. The retreat is also pretty bad at 2. It should have had like free retreat since it's Gengar and this horrible HP. And Hypnoblast is also very weak. But I guess they really thought that this Life Shaker ability is too good, but really they're just always messing, like destroying Stage 2 Pokemon, limiting them for no reason. But anyway, I'm going to try and use this. Now, we have a bunch of options for the Ghastly and Haunter line, but I went for the Unbroken Bonds one for the Ghastly. We have 3 Ghastlies right here. Just because it's a 60 HP one and Smog Instant Poison, I guess if it's going to ever come up, you're probably losing. I'm aware there's a Ghastly that can grab instant Haunters and you can place them on the bench when it dies, but you don't want to put yourself in this position. We only run one Haunter anyway. We just want to get our dudes out the rare candy way. I guess the more typical way. Haunter is also going to be from the Unbroken Bonson. I think this is the best one. It has the best attack. Stats I think are the same or worse on other ones. Just Sinister Fog, instant poison and a damage counter on everyone if you're really going to use these guys. And then 2 Gengars, of course, the Sword and Shield Gengar. So it's a 3-1-2 line. I only have 2 Gengar anyway, but you don't really need too many. I mean, you just need 1 to take advantage of this effect. Maybe you want to get 2 as backup. But the thing is, you don't really need this card instantly too. It's more of a mid-game, late-game card, I suppose. Now, the main, I guess, attackers are going to be this Necrozma V. It makes the most sense to me. This guy has a good early attack, Prismatic Ray, and a very good 3 energy attack, Special Laser. It's going to do 100 damage, but if you have a special energy attached, it does 120 more. So this is essentially 220 for free just by having a special energy on. And since we have good special energies to work with anyway, this horror energy here, it makes a lot of sense. And I also have the weakness guard energy, because if you play against Dark, you're going to lose anyway, but we're going to try and sort of have a chance, I guess, if we play against Eternatus or other Darkness Pokemon. But in all probability, if you play against Darkness, you're going to lose for sure. But 8 special energies, this guy will usually have at least 1 on, and we can get the special plus. Other than that, his stats are good, 220. Bottom stats are kind of typical. Retreat is kind of big, but it's okay. And then Prismatic Ray is also a very good early attack, 20, and then 20 to 2 different bench Pokemon. So 60 damage total for 1. So good early attack. I have this one Wobbuffet V here, a card you normally never see. Like, I don't think I see anyone using this card. But in this sort of deck, it makes sense. They pretty much made this to work with Gengar in a way because of the gritty comeback attack. So switch all damage counters on this Pokemon with those on your opponent's active Pokemon. So normally what you want to do, maybe you don't play this Pokemon down immediately, and then you have a lot of hurt damage on your Psychic dudes. You play this guy down, you put all the damage from your other Psychic Pokemon to Wobbuffet, you switch, and then you use Gritty Comeback, put all that damage on your opponent's Pokemon, and then if they have nothing on, you get nothing back as well. So it's essentially you healed all your damage and you inflicted it on the opponent. So powerful combo. We're going to keep this guy at 1 as a tech. He'll come up, but he's not going to be the main focus. Shadow Bind can also be kind of good, I guess. Maybe 70 for 2, and then you lock the defending Pokemon from retreating. His stats are also pretty good, 220. Bottom stats the same as Necrozma. And we're going to boost these guys further with the Cape of Toughness to 50 more HP, making them tanks, being able to absorb more damage that we can just spread around, and inflict more damage with Gritty Comeback too. Since if you can put more damage on with the Cape, you can inflict more damage too. And that's basically the strategy. I guess the normal Pokemon that we're going to be using to put the damage counters on is this Giratina right here with Dimension Breach and Xerneas. To be honest, I only running one of this guy and putting the Xerneas because I only have one. If you have two, it's probably better because he has a good ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand down, you may discard a special energy on your opponent's active Pokemon, so this can definitely come up. And we are going to scoop in this guy up anyway, so that's the point. You might be able to abuse this ability a lot, but since I only have one, I'm putting the Xerneas in for an additional Pokemon. Perhaps you use JO Hunt too. You know, it's a good effect. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand. But it's basically because they're 130 HP, basic legendary Pokemon. You know what to expect. And then the other guy is just going to be some support, non-psychic Pokemon. Since I'm running maximum scoop up net numbers, it makes sense to run Jirachi with Stellar Wish. Going to give us that consistency at the beginning, which this deck desperately needs. Get some searches as we need to set up a bunch of things. And yeah, Jirachi is really good. And then I've got the one Snorlax too for Gormandize. This can also be very good, draw a lot of cards. Because we're not really going to be attacking in the beginning. We're going to be pretty passive. I mean, you could be attacking with Prismatic Ray if you open with this guy. But if you don't have a supporter, you're not going to go far. So you want to open with Jirachi or even Snorlax, draw a bunch of cards, evolve into your Gengar, get a few energy attachments, so you can do the really good stuff with this deck. So this guy is also in here, Scoop Up Net compatible. And then one Eldegoss V, Happy Match, Recycler supporter, just pretty good. I don't really want to use the Dedenne GX in this deck, discard a bunch of stuff. Our Gengar line isn't too big, you know, we can't really afford to have too many extra copies for no reason. And there's just a lot of stuff. It's not like you're just trying to get a stage 2 Pokemon out. You're trying to get a stage 2 and you're trying to have Scoop Up Net handy and maybe switches and stuff to get the healing. So yeah. But yeah, Eldegoss V should be a very good Pokemon. And I know I don't mention this a lot of times, but the reason you guys don't see Crobat Vs in my decks is because I don't have Crobat V. If I did, it would have definitely be in here in the place of Eldegoss. Very good card. So if you do have Crobat, of course, definitely consider it in all your decks. So this is basically, these are the Pokemon. Now the trainers, I'm going to have some typical stuff, but we are going to have some differences too. So Rare Candy, 3 of these for the Gengar. I'm not maxing it out because it's not a full stage 2 line. So I just went with 3. And that's basically it. We have our balls, Pokemon Searchers. Level Ball, 2 of these. Since I have a lot of small Pokemon, it's good that we can use this in this deck. Help me get instant access to Ghastly and then Jirachi's too. Good stuff. And then 4 Quick Ball, max this out. Of course, get the big guys, these guys. And even get Eldegoss V, Snorlax even. Of course, when we're going to get the crystal, the fog crystal thing, it's going to be even better. Just get any psychic Pokemon. But for now, Quick Ball will have to do. And Evolution Incense to get the evolution Pokemon. It's only 2 Gengar, but I'm still doing 2 Incense so that we increase our chances of seeing the Gengar. You know, search it out. It's like you have 4 copies, and we can just discard it later, not use it. You know, Quick Ball is a discard outlet, so it is what it is. A little bit of energy searching with Energy Spinner. I just have 4 basic energies, but it's good to have a card like this too to search an energy out. And some other typical stuff like the double switch, scoop up net, of course. I've explained it. It just makes perfect sense in this deck. Is part of the combo. It is a switching outlet to in a way for the regular Pokemon. And these cards take a lot of space. Like maxing out the scoop up net, running double switch too. You know, they take up space. Tool Scrapper, 1 is good to get rid of some annoying tools. Stadium Choice, I guess, is going to be 1 Chaotic Swell. Just have space for 1, but you need to have at least something because counter stadiums are important. There's too many people using a lot of different stadiums. So just having one of these, I'd rather have at least 1 counter stadium. And what else? Changing from other deck profiles a little bit. As opposed to running Ordinary Rod, I decided to go with Lana's Fishing Rod. This is just going to let us recover 1 Pokemon in the deck, but it also lets me get a Pokemon tool. So maybe we can get like a 4th Cape of Toughness. It might not be that necessary, to be honest. I think maybe I should just drop this in the end and then put the Ordinary Rod, but we're not really trying to recover basic energies. We're not really trying to recover too many Pokemon. I mean, maybe in the end, having an Ordinary Rod is better, but I just have this in for now. Maybe I guess to get a Cape of Toughness back or something. You never know. And that's basically it for the regular items. I don't think I've missed anything. Then we go to the supporters, some standard stuff. Your triple Marnie, good disruption and decent draw. Good card, you gotta run it. Double Magnolia or Juniper if you have it. I wish I had Juniper so I could put that in the deck instead of her. But essentially, discard, draw 7. Great supporter. Don't want to overdo it in this sort of deck because we need our pieces, our combo pieces, setup pieces. But you need to have at least 2, I think. Double Skyla should be good enough to get me the rare candy, scoop up nets, any other item we need. And the 1 Erica, I guess, for just an additional solid supporter. It'll kind of conflict with Snorlax, but, you know, that's why I only have 1. I don't like her too much because, you know, if you have a bunch of stuff that you can't play, like dead rare candies, you can't use them yet, a bunch of other scoop up nets and stuff, it's gonna be dead. But it's just we don't have we have a lot of supporters, but they don't really click with me. Like I wish we just had Cynthia or something still. So just 1 of her, and then boss's orders to win you the games. Of course, an amazing card. Energies, pretty typical. You max out the Horror Energy, additional damage inflicted on your opponent. Attach it to Psychic Pokemon, you're good to go. Need this for Necrozma. Weakness got energy in case it helps against darkness. That's it. If you want to sacrifice a few of these for, I guess, a capture energy or draw energy, it wouldn't be bad, to be honest. If you just want to give up on the darkness matchup because it's kind of impossible anyway. But I decided to make this as competitive as I can, but this deck is going to be very difficult to work. I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you guys. I'm going to show it. Hopefully going to have some fun matches, interesting shit, instead of showing the same old decks that I use. But it's difficult to work. It's definitely difficult to work. And you have a lot of bad matchups, like Darkness. Of course, Arceus is going to be pretty bad because it's really fast. Yeah. And 4 basic Psychic Energies for the last few energies. Now, I guess since you're running all Psychic Pokemon, against fighting decks, maybe Urshifu, you might have a decent matchup. But to be honest, Rapid Strike Urshifu is actually a bad matchup against this guy, against this deck. if they know how to use the deck right, they can play it right in your fingers. You will play right in their fingers. Like you can't really do much because of Urshifu's ability to double snipe. But anyway, I can't really think of other matchups. The what is it called? Orbital. That's a good matchup, I guess. Just straight up Orbital decks because you don't care about their damage counter or spread. So I guess that's another deck, but that's not really meta either. And that's basically it. I can't think of anything else. Gonna show you guys the matches, I suppose, and we'll see from there. This is the deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. And I'll see you guys on the matches. Saber 54. We'll say.